Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning about string methods in Python. String methods are like little tools that let us perform specific actions on strings, such as changing their case or finding out their length. These methods are easy to use and don't require any extra setup, like importing a library. Let's dive in and learn more about them. First, let's talk about the three string methods we'll cover today: len, lower, and upper. These are commonly used methods that allow us to manipulate and work with strings in Python. Let's start with len. The len method tells us the length of a string, which means how many characters it contains. Characters include letters, numbers, spaces, and even symbols. For example, let's say we assign the word Mercedes to a variable called maker. If we write len maker, Python will return the number 8 because Mercedes has 8 characters. Spaces are also included in the length, so if we use len John Leland, Python will count both the letters and the space, giving us a result of 12. One important thing to note is that you can't use len directly on a number. For example, if you write len 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Python will give you an error because numbers don't have a length. However, you can convert the number into a string using the string method. For example, if you write len string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Python will treat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a string and return the length, which is 5. Let's practice with a quick example. Assign the string Chevrolet to a variable called maker, then find its length using len maker. Next, try using len on the string John Leland and see how spaces are counted. Finally, convert the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a string and find its length. Now let's move on to the next two methods, lower and upper. These methods are used to change the case of letters in a string. The lower method converts all the letters in a string to lowercase, while the upper method converts them to uppercase. For example, if you have the string Chevrolet in a variable called maker, writing maker lower will return small letter Chevrolet, and maker upper will return capital letter Chevrolet. These methods are used with something called dot notation. This means you write the variable name, add a dot, and then the method. For example, maker.lower or maker.upper. Let's practice this as well. Use the variable maker and try converting it to lowercase using lower. Then, convert it to uppercase using upper. Notice how the string changes each time. Before we finish, here's an additional practice exercise. Assign the word Mercedes to a variable called maker, the year 2020 as a string to a variable called year, and the word June to a variable called month. First, find the length of maker. Then, print both the lowercase and uppercase versions of maker. Finally, combine the month and year into a single string, with a space in between, and print the result. The output should look like June 2020. Let's do one more quick practice. Assign the word Tesla to a variable called scientist name and print it in lowercase using the lower method. Then try printing it in uppercase using the upper method. Notice how these methods make it easy to change the appearance of the string. Okay, so today we learned about three string methods: len, which tells us the length of a string, and lower and upper, which change the case of the string. These methods are simple yet powerful tools you'll use often when working with strings in Python. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.